Greetings, Benjamin J from Ben's Trains with another in the series. Okay, this is that motor that arrived today, and I unboxed it and then immediately unboxed that Caterpillar locomotive, so I really haven't had time to even do anything with this yet. It's intact, it's really dirty, as you see. Anyway, I got this on eBay for $8. It's complete. So, very first thing I'm going to do is lubricate it. Now, there's a lot of questions. I got a couple emails today about lubricating a Marx motor. So the easiest way to lubricate this, the easiest, quickest, simplest, fastest, and best way is to use 30 weight motor oil. Go down to Dollar General or even Dollar Tree if they have a quart of motor oil. It's mostly re-refined old used motor oil. It's really cheap, about $2 a quart, $3, something like that, really cheap. Anyway, it makes the best lubricant there is for these locomotives. It's about the right thickness. It withstands lots of heat. I mean, it's motor oil. It works really well for this. Anyway, on the brush plate, in most cases, there is a pad. Not always, but you saturate that pad. That keeps the bearing lubricated for the armature on the brush side, as you see. Really saturate that thing. It's like a sponge. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it isn't. If it isn't, a couple of drops of oil directly into the axle. On this side, go to the output shaft. There's a bearing behind it. Put one big drop directly on that. Let that run down into the bearing. Give it a turn. All right. So the motor is lubricated. If you want to lubricate the rear axles, you can see how dirty these are. And you need to clean all this junk and gunk out of there. But for now, same thing. A drop of oil on that bearing, a drop of oil on that bearing. Front bearings are hard to get to with an oiler that size because you have to go down between the contactor and the side plate to get to them. So a needle point works really well for that. In any case, put it on the rail. I have an empty rail right here. All right, let's pull the camera off the tripod. So $8, I bought it for parts. I have no idea if it runs. It's in decent shape. I'm sure it probably will. Okay, power is on. Let's see what happens. Well, it runs forwards and it runs backwards. Wow, that runs really smooth. This thing has not been run in years, decades. A bit of wheel spark, so the brushes are dirty. Wow, that runs just absolutely splendidly. So, it was definitely worth the $8. There's no doubt about that. In parts, it's worth substantially more than the $8. Anyway, it's dirty, but it's in decent condition. It's just been sitting for a very, very long time, as you can see. Got some rust on it there. It's covered in oxide. And it's also covered in genuine dirt, as you see. I mean, it's pretty dirty. I don't know where it's been. It hasn't been in a locomotive because it wouldn't be this dirty if it had been. It's been sitting somewhere. Anyway, it is up and running. And as you see, running really well. Hold on, let me grab a headlight. Let's see if the headlight works. Let me grab one of the little bulbs. That's probably bent. I can't do this with one hand in this camera. All right, let's try this. Yeah, I think the socket is bent. Well, I can't do it holding this camera, that's for sure. Anyway, it probably works. I don't know why it wouldn't. So the motor's up and running with no problem at all. It needs to be clean. It needs to be thoroughly lubricated. But as you see, it is running. Still a bit of wheel spark. Wow, that runs really well. Anyway, it was worth the $8. There's no doubt about that. I just took the chance. I actually bought it for parts. I need parts, but every time I buy one of these things for parts, it winds up running. In this case, I haven't done anything to it at all. A couple of drops of oil. I mean, that's it. I haven't done anything to this. I took it out of the box and set it aside and opened that. Anyway, I just want to do a quick video on this new motor. As I always stress, don't overlook the junk. You see these motors, $25, $35, and people actually buy them. You can buy the entire locomotive for $30, $25, $20. On good day, you can find them for $10. Anyway, I just want to do a quick video on this motor. So very likely that socket is out of round. So I'll have to get a light bulb started in it. That'll round it back out. But it's up and running. That's the important part. Excuse me. So forward and reverse, it needs to be cleaned. It needs to be lubricated. What am I going to do with it? I have no idea. I was hoping I could use it for parts. But as usual, like I said, it's kind of a paradox. I'm looking for these things so I can tear them apart. And most of them, in fact about 99.9% of them, wind up running. So anyway, I just wanted to do a quick video on this motor. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop me an email. BENZTRAINZ@gmail.com. And as always, thank you for watching.